Hello, and welcome to the High Performance Show with me, Kamir Arajun, where we showcase ordinary South Africans under 30 living extraordinary lives. Today's special guest is Dominic Manley, a financial analyst living in Cape Town and a longtime friend of mine. I met Dominic in Stellenbosch University while we were students, and I was inspired by his journey because he had to overcome immense obstacles to get to where he is today. Dominic, welcome and thank you for being part of our show.
Thank you.
Please,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Please, would you tell us a bit about your story and growing up?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on the show. I'm very honored and a very pleasant welcome. Just to start from the beginning, like Amir said, I'm a financial analyst currently, and I aspire to be definitely a big figure or influential role in the financial and tech industry one day. So my journey started at a young age, like all of us does. Growing up as a family from PE originally, we decided to make the big move to another city, just from our roots to Cape Town. I was only at the age of 5, and I had a brother already, and a sister was on the way. So we moved from PE to Cape Town, and from there we started our own little journey with our family in Cape Town. And growing up here was different. It was challenging. Firstly, I was not Afrikaans at all, and Cape Town and Western Cape was Afrikaans. So especially in the northern suburbs where I grew up was that. So I had to adjust to that. But it was good. We were set for life, and we were starting our new journey. It was exciting. Little bit later on, where my mom and father got divorced, was about 6 years later afterwards. And with that being said, he left and didn't come back. And then with that, my mother had to basically get her own job. So when we moved here, we were reliant on one person's salary, which was my father's, and my mother didn't have to work. I was fortunate enough to be raised by her, and when I come home from schools every day, I was taught by her. I had like a second teacher, and I was given a lot of attention. So everything. And yeah, about 10 years, 11 years old, that was all taken away. A drastic turn of events happened when that happened. And yeah, so my mom had to get her first job. We had to get our own place to stay. And I had to step up and be the man of the house because I was the older sibling. So now we are 4 kids in. And as the divorce happened, 1 kid was also born. So the last one. And yeah, I had to step up dramatically. So knowing that my mom didn't really have any, she had a tertiary education, but a diploma, but she didn't have any degree or any other experience in the field except that of finance. And she's an accountant, and she used that to the best of her abilities. So with that being said, she found a job, she found us a place to stay, and she put a roof over our heads. And the next chapter in our lives started. With me stepping up, moving into high school, my mom then gave me a curveball and said that I was not the father that I grew up to know as father was not my father, and I had indeed another father. So yeah, it was challenging in itself to take that in and everything. Nevertheless, it didn't change my role to the household and everything. And growing up with being financially disadvantaged in our sense always gave me it challenged me, and it prompted me to understand financial literacy and to understand how money works and how we can use it to survive, to take something from nothing, to take something which is nothing and make it something for yourself and make it work for yourself, and just achieve financial wellness and literacy, a basic understanding of it. So I'd met at our first house that my mom moved us to. I lived in a complex, and we lived in a complex, and over there I met a very, very inspiring and entrepreneurial gentleman, man. So we're about 10, 11 years old, yeah, and I met my my financial or my business partner slash one of my best friends, Kwezi Jackson. And Kwezi grew up in the similar case as me, single mom, supporting 4 kids, and also just trying to make it, also a passion for financial literacy, business, and getting along with people and just understanding how people work and how the world works economically and financially. And us two started basically working together at that young age as well. We worked for another successful man, which was an entrepreneur already, had his own business. And from there on, we started absorbing all the information, everything that we could, just to understand how it could work and what we could do, even at this young age, even though we don't have capital at our disposal, even though we don't have necessarily the skill that we needed. We just wanted to start. We had that hunger, we had that drive, and we picked up everything. We met another gentleman along the way, which was the best friend of the first gentleman that we worked for. Their names are Chris and Henry, by the way. Very nice guys. Basically raised me and Kwezi, taught us a lot, and played a very important father figure in our lives. And yeah, from there on, we started ventures that would basically just help us understand knowledge. We weren't necessarily after profits or after a quick buck. We just wanted to understand how everything works. Kwezi had tuck shops at school and at the complex selling sweets to kids and everything. And I would be the guy fetching everything, doing the heavy lifting, going there, understanding how it works, telling him this is the cost for this and this is that. And he was the people's person. And our synergy worked so well. With him handling the front of house and me doing the back end stuff, picking up everything, dropping off stuff, understanding the quantities and the numbers behind it. And throughout high school, we were in the same high school. Kwezi was the year above me. We basically kept that energy. We had different ventures. I think we started a coffee guy. We would have this little portable coffee backpack. Chris also had it. I would never forget it. We would go to rugby games for kids, for the schools around here, and parents who don't necessarily want to miss anything of the game, just to go grab a coffee or something because it's so early in the morning. What we had was the coffee guy or the beverage guy. Chris made this cool contraption with like a backpack with a filter coffee machine in it, and at your disposal right here, like those cowboys where they keep their guns. You'd have your coffees your coffee disposable cups that you'd whip out, and then this little pipe over here, you would pour your coffee into it, hand it to them, give us the cash, and that's the transaction. Portable coffee on the go. So that was one of the ventures that was very fun, I must say, that we did. So yeah, since then, we grew up like that, just getting into ventures, and then university came and we were like, listen, we've got the practical, we've got the know-how to, we know people, we've got the ideas, the entrepreneurship. Now we need the skill, we need the theoretical skill behind that. So with that being said, I went to go study finance at the University of Stellenbosch, where I fortunately and so gratefully met Kamir Arjun with me today. And Kwezi went to another school to study business administration. Both doing very well and successful at university, enjoying the time. We got into, towards the end of our university careers, Kwezi then approached me as I was progressing, moving into another tier of understanding finance, from small businesses to understanding medium enterprises to how big asset managers and even world banks and everything works. Kwezi was like, you know what, let's be a bit daunting, and approached me with a idea or a initiative that he'd already started with a colleague of his at the university he was with, and that was called Azania Azania Investment Club. So the principle is that it's an investment club of 20 members, and what we would do is offer, we would run it like an asset manager. We would invest in portfolios that me and Kwezi would set up, and it would give chance for young South Africans, young Black South Africans, and all young under 30 that want to start investing, and not necessarily or doesn't understand and is scared of big asset managers where they charge a fee or anything. Where we don't charge a fee, we would invest your money in a portfolio with a certain goal in mind, and to also educate you. And that's the important part, is that we stressed, is that we don't want money out of this again. We want to educate you on how you could make your money work for you, and how if you have money sitting around, it doesn't have to just sit around. It can also earn an interest for you and earn something for you to get back. Maybe right now, me and Kamir being young adults, we want to have a save up for deposit on a house. So 2 to 3 year medium term, you can put your money in a pool or a portfolio and basically let that grow. And according to that, we have investment products that have a certain goal attributed to it for young people, and also to educate them on what it is doing and what are the effects of putting in recurringly every month or only just once at a time. What's the effects of withdrawing and how that happens. So basically just taking what we've learned all our lives up until this point and sharing it again with South Africans who did not have a similar situation as us growing up and everything. So yeah, that's basically my story up until now. The investment club is still going strong. I'm very excited to see how things go. And yeah, I do see it. We run it like an asset manager. It's a small thing, but it's on an investment club, and whatever aspirations have for it, the three of us and whoever we onboard as well, part of the team, I'm sure it's going to be exciting and fun. So yeah.
Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that story with us, because there's just so many learning points and so many gems in that story that I just want to keep on unpacking and taking out all that value and just learning from you, you know. Especially, I think the first part that I'd like to explore some more was the dynamic, the family dynamic and the mindset. So, you know, as a young kid and in that situation, there was a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation, right? Because you had to now step up. And even though you were a child in that household, you had to step up and assume a role to take care of your family, right? And that sort of meant putting your own interests aside for a bit. How did you handle that mentally, that pressure, that stress, that expectation, knowing that you've got to now get some work to meet?
Well, it's a good question. And it's one that I make every decision like that, to put aside what I want and what I want to do for the good of my family, the sacrifice that you have to make. Well, with the pressure that comes along with it, I've learned that I've made both mistakes. I've proactively taken it head on and just basically maybe just blown a problem that is so small out of proportion and gone that. But I've also just left it to sort itself out when it actually does need a proactive response. And I've learned out of that. So with that being said, I've known that I have to be patient. I have to be patient and see what it is, what the challenges are, and basically take it as it is. It's going to be done. It needs to be sorted. But also in that time, I don't have to rush to sort it out as soon as possible. Maybe it is a challenge that needs to basically, that I just need to wait out, that I can just, it will sort itself out for a while. With people, for example, I see that happen as well. If someone is upset and it's something that's not material, it doesn't affect the larger picture, bigger picture, something like that, they just need time and space to come together. Whereas something like, for example, a challenge that we faced was basically pulling everyone, getting them to school or getting us to our sport that we needed to be going. With that, it just needs a proactive approach where you just need to go and make friends and say, hey, we're going to the same place. Let's just connect and everything. So to answer your question, that and just made me realize is that talking to people and explain and just connecting with them, and the challenges that approached me helped me to evolve, to become the person I am today, because they taught me that if you have a problem, go talk to people about it, or go tell people, hey, I have this, I need to be here at this time, and I noticed, or I see that you work here. Tell me more about this, or tell me how it's going and everything, and not nearly, and then just grow a relationship and just say, listen, I also am going there, and maybe we can hitch a ride together, and then we could carpool. I could give petrol. money, and you could save on that, and then in that return you're going there. So it's really grown to help me grow to the person I am today. So in the beginning, it was stressful, especially when they pack on each other in such a short space of time. But in the long run, it teaches me valuable lessons and people skills, and and skills that I never thought I would get without a dad in my life or anything. So it taught me skills that were like that, just to do stuff and take initiative and be on your own. So right now, I invite challenges because I know I'm going to grow and learn from them.
And, we live in a world now where people are so bombarded by information and tasks and deadlines that, in this new pandemic world, or post-pandemic world, should I say, that mental health is becoming an even more important focus point, right?
Yeah.
But when you were a youngster, the focus wasn't so much on mental health. It didn't receive as much media attention now. So how did you then just handle that, keeping your sanity? Because from what I understand, you sort of always found a way to make things happen. You had your back against a corner and there was only one way, and it was forward. But did that whole experience maybe force you as a life skill to always identify possibilities instead of getting swamped by challenges? And, in this, keeping your mental health intact?
Yeah. So with my mental health and everything, like you said, it wasn't a focus point back then. And because of that as well, I didn't really understand the concept of it. I knew that you get upset, you get angry, you get overwhelmed, you get in a corner, you get stressed. And these are necessarily, my mom always taught me that it's bad emotions. It's my Henry and Kwesi had always told me that it's bad to act out of anger. These are emotions that you need to feel, you need to embrace, but you also need to logically approach them, and also just use them in a sensible way. So my friend group, Kwesi, Henry, and even my mom, that helped support me and go through that. They dealt with a lot with me back then. Look, going through the situation like you described, I definitely it was challenging. I wasn't perfect. I got upset. I got frustrated. And with that being that, I had to learn the hard way that there's a better approach to things. So with that friend group and with their help, a lot of their help, just to attack the challenges and the stress and the fear and anxiety and frustration with growing up when things didn't go your way and everything. It was the friend group that really pulled me through, that said, you know what, it's not something that is in your control. It's not something that you can do anymore. It's not like you didn't do anything or anything like that. It's just something that happens, and also just letting go and just basically accepting it for what it is and learning from it for the next time is something that helped me get through it. And my mental challenge, I'm a firm believer that if I have a problem, I'll fix it, but if I don't fix it, I'll learn from it and make sure it doesn't happen again. So that's if I'm going through something that's mentally challenging, that's attacking me, and back then as well, I also practiced it, that was taking me on and it was frustrating and challenging to get through, I would know that it's fine because you're getting something out of this, you're learning from it. So
all right, I think the viewers would find a lot of wisdom in that answer, because from even I've learned a lot in that you focus on what you can control, for one. Two, you rely on your support group and they help you get through a situation. And three, you always find a way to make something happen, make the situation work. It's that positive mindset, knowing that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to, as well as the fact that no matter how daunting a challenge initially seems, you can always get through it if you tackle it one step at a time and maintain your vision of what you would like to achieve.
Yes.
So I find that really, really beautiful. I mean, that was amazing.
Pretty well.
Another aspect in your journey and your story that I really liked was the fact that, you said that you and your friends were drawn to the entrepreneurship aspect. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the young people out there who dream and aspire to be entrepreneurs, would you say that an entrepreneur is someone who can readily take on that role? Or do you believe that it's more an instinct, that entrepreneurship comes to certain people easily? Or do you feel that anyone can be an entrepreneur? You just have to have the right mindset and willingness to go out there.
I am leaning towards the second one, where everyone has that mindset. Entrepreneurship, if you break it down, what is it? It's an idealist, someone who knows how to bring things together. And necessarily, I've seen, and it can be anybody from all personality types across the spectrum that we have. It's basically an idea, and it doesn't have to be out of the box or anything. It could be as simple as you are good at reading, and if you know people who aren't good at reading, who need help, or who there's a need or a demand for it, or even you could create your own demand. I mean, you could read in different languages, or you could. I saw now we have going to sleep apps that put you to sleep with the voices of certain celebrities, something like that, where you could read over a mic and you have the soothing voice and you read so well that you could just use that, and that as an idea, and to take something like that and to materialize it, that's the challenging part. But it's something that we all experience. Anything that you're good at, I mean, we all have gifts, we all have talents. Take that, make money off it. Basically do your own thing with it. And the practicality of it is like, oh, how do I sign up for a business? People, a lot of them think like, oh, I need to register my business, I need to patent it, I need to get everything, the admin in order, and that's where their mind starts to get that block, and then they stop thinking. But that stuff takes care of itself. That's only less than a percentage of what you need to do. It's the idea and you actually pursuing what you want to do, because entrepreneurs don't feel like they're working. They feel they are just doing what they are put on this earth to do, and they're just helping people with it and rewarding themselves and everyone else with it. So I mean, that is basically open to everyone. Anyone can do it. So yeah.
That is very well said. That's absolutely beautifully put. It's all about finding your purpose in life, finding that spark. What makes you come alive? What is your passion? And
Yes.
and then focusing your energy on chasing that relentlessly, because that is your natural skill and something that you can find to add value in this world.
Yes.
I think the world is moving towards a point where people are sort of realizing that they don't have to fit a certain mold, and it's all about finding their unique talents and playing to their strengths. And it's an amazing thing, because you see so many different ideas, you see innovation all around, new trends. And I think it's really important that people latch onto that and have the courage to take the step towards action, from from having a dream to setting a goal, to making small steps each day to making that goal a reality. And I think that's so important.
Yes.
I think on your journey here, if you look back, what were the 3 most important lessons you've learned in your life?
The first one that pops to mind, and I'm still learning it, is patience. It's something that we all, especially at a young age, we want things now and we want things done yesterday. And it's something that especially if you, like me, who's a bit OCD, a bit like if there's a problem, it needs to be sorted out now. That sort of things is something that patience is learned, and I know it's better said than done. I'm learning it every day. Also is that, that it's not in order though. I think I can't rank them, but with that also, I think your friend groups is your support structure. Well, for me, it was mostly my friend groups. For other people, it's family. For other people, it's their pets. Whatever it is that you need to be grounded in that, and grounded in what you believe in, and your friend groups and everyone who you surround yourself with is going to show what your morals are, what you believe in, what you're grounded in. And you need to be firm and assertive and believe in that. I mean, even when it's challenging and they challenge what you believe in normally. So with that being said, you need to just be grounded with that. And then I think the last lesson, all as well, is just forgiveness as well. I mean, not just for people, but for yourself, especially for yourself. You're gonna face challenges, you're gonna face obstacles, and you're gonna fail. And Henry keeps on telling you, Dom, you're failing, but you fail forward. As long as you keep on failing forward, you're moving forward. You need to have grace and forgiveness for yourself, and you need to just live that out, because you make mistakes, you fail a lot, and there's a lot of weight in saying that. But you've got to keep on going, and you've got to have forgiveness, because if you have forgiveness for yourself, you have grace for yourself, it gives you motivation again to push forward, instead of wallowing in pity or guilt or whatever it is that the kids call it these days, the feels. You can just pick yourself, you be like, it's okay. But for yourself and for everyone around you that you are helping with your idea, you can move forward because you've forgiven yourself, and now you can move forward because stuff needs to be done. The job's not over. A very important, talented man told me, I'll stop when the job is done. So I think you know who I'm talking about there. And I always remembered that. I always read that that quote on your door, Kamir. And
yeah. Thank you, Dom. You're too kind. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Quoting me on your interview. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that quote said, I will only rest once the job is done. Once the job is done.
There we go.
Saying that even if I'm tired, I will keep going until it's done, and then at least I've closed that chapter, and then I will then rest.
Yes, absolutely. There we go.
I'm flattered with that. And I think, lastly, if there are a lot of people out there who can relate to your story, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there who are going through such hardship. I mean, the world is already tough as it is. In South Africa, with the past 3 years with this COVID-19 and pandemic, high unemployment, there's so many challenges people face, and sometimes they may feel like they're losing hope that their dreams are just slowly slipping out of reach. Dreams of going into university, becoming doctors, or pursuing their passion, starting a business, having a family. Sometimes those dreams just seem so far away because the circumstances in the present are just, increasing in terms of toughness. So what last bit of advice or wisdom could you impart to our viewers to give them hope and to help them on their journey towards their goals?
Apart from the three things, I think it relates into what's the three things, lessons that I learned as well, is have those values, have friends, have a support structure that you're grounded in, be forgiving and be patient. But also, you like to call me this, is that be persistent. I sort of see myself as, the way I approach things and approach a problem is I bang down walls, and I bang down every sort of possibility that I do. I try everything, and once I can't get through and understand everything, I will just sit down and then collect myself together, and then just be like, it's not in your control anymore, and be patient. So aside from that, the only advice I can give is that keep going. Mr. Winston Churchill said, and it also relates with me, that if you're going through hell, keep going. If your circumstances is dictating your movements, if it's telling you that you can't do it, if you are in that situation where you don't know where to go, you're backed up in a corner, keep going. I can promise you, be persistent, and a way will come. It will come. It's just a matter of your mindset. Your mindset as well is also very important as well. So that into persistent and mindset. If you are stubborn and you know that you will not give up, you will not let go, You just got to keep going. Even if you don't know what to do, you just got to say, I'm in the fight still. It's not over till it's over. Just say those words to yourself and a way will come, because you're also being patient, or you're forced to be patient as well. So um, just bring on that fighting spirit. And that's the one thing, no circumstance, not one single thing in this universe can take away from you, is that fighting spirit in you. And as long as you've got that, you're still in the game. It's not over. So yeah, that's my advice there.
That is epic. That is absolutely epic. You know, it's got energy, and you're right. Every
Yeah.
single one of us has this fight inside us.
Yes.
This belief, the self-confidence. We have a goal, you go for it. If it takes you
Yes.
1 year, 2 years, 10 years, or 20 years,
Yes.
if you still believe you can do it, you keep
Mm.
going and you make it a reality. Because
Absolutely.
there's nothing that'll hurt more than looking back on your life and thinking, what if
Yeah.
I just kept on going? What
Yeah.
if I just pushed a bit harder to
Mm.
achieve that goal? What if?
Absolutely.
Living with regret is something that haunts many people. And if you
Yeah.
keep up that fight and you chase
Yeah.
your goals down, you can
Yeah.
live a life that you will not regret.
That you will not. It's
And
your life that you're paving. So yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Make every day count, make every moment count, make every second count.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dominic, for your time. And thank you to all our viewers for watching our show. Our guest's social media details will be available in the comment box below so that you can follow Dominic's journey. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to continue to be inspired by our high performers. Until next time, goodbye.